Well, the sun-loving shrubs that I wanted to show you today are actually broadleaf evergreens. However, we're not going to be looking at hollies, but other shrubs besides that. Now, the first one that I wanted to show you here is a William Penn Barberry. Now, this is a beautiful shrub, and you can see it has a low, kind of a mounding habit. Now, at a mature height, this will reach about 4 feet and will be about that large around, but right now it's kind of sprawling out, and it has a very nice leaf color to it. You can notice that the color as the new leaves come out is kind of a reddish cast, and then as the leaves mature they become this nice dark lustrous green color that you see here. Now, this shrub actually likes a moist soil, and it actually will thrive in a slightly acid soil. But it is a very nice shrub for a foundation planting or something low in front of a taller shrub. Now, I wanted to take a look at a few more broadleaf evergreens, so let's go take a look at the waxleaf privet. The Texanum waxleaf privet, or waxleaf ligustrum, is a very compact, rapid growing shrub. Now, when I say compact, I mean that the leaves are close together. However, it can reach heights of about 10 feet. So plant it with that in mind. Now, if you don't want to prune this shrub, it actually has nice white flowers in the spring, which will be followed by blue berries. However, this is also a shrub that works well used as a hedge or pruned up into a small tree-like form, and those are both very good uses for this shrub. Now, it is very tolerant of most soils. About the only thing that this doesn't like is to have a permanently wet site. After that, the soil really doesn't matter to it. Now, there's another neat thing about this shrub, and that is the lenticels. At first glance, these lenticels actually look like maybe a disease or an insect, but they're actually part of the plant, and that makes it interesting. And if you want to prune this up into a small tree form and show those off, that's very nice. We have another broadleaf evergreen that has been growing quite well here at the studio gardens, and that is the southern wax myrtle. Now, it can actually reach heights of 10 to 15 feet tall with a spread about that large around. So it is a very large shrub and actually can be used as a small tree. Just as with the waxleaf privet, you can trim that up and show off the beautiful gray bark underneath. Now, the southern wax myrtle also has another plus to it, and that is the wonderful bayberry-like smell that you get when you brush the new growth on it. It smells like a bayberry candle, and it is a very nice smell. We have another semi-evergreen shrub that actually works well in a sunny or a shady location, and that's the Glossy Abelia. Now, as I said, this shrub can actually take a sunny or partially shaded position, and if you look at the leaves, you can tell where it gets its name. If we look here, we have a nice glossy green leaf, which is where Glossy Abelia comes from. And another great thing about this shrub is that the new growth actually has a reddish cast to it. So that is a very nice contrast with our dark green leaves. It also blooms on the new growth pretty much from May through August with a tubular white to pinkish flower. And as you recall earlier, we said that this is a very good hummingbird plant. Now, Glossy Abelia likes a moist, well-drained soil, and it can actually reach a height of about 6 feet tall and be about that large around. Now, this is actually a compact form that we have here, so it's not going to get quite so tall. However, these shrubs do lend themselves to being pruned, so you can prune them to help them fit into the area where you've planted them. Now, if you're looking for a shrub that works well for a shady position, you might try the Japanese Aucuba. Now, Japanese Aucuba works very well for a deep shade spot, and it has a nice, dark, glossy, long green leaf that has a serrated edge on it. Now, it also comes in variegated forms, and these are known as gold dust plants, and that gold dusting on the leaves is actually a good way to brighten up a darker spot in your garden. Now, this plant can actually grow to be about 12 feet tall. However, it's an extremely slow-growing plant, so you could plant it and it probably wouldn't outgrow its spot too fast. The other nice thing about the Japanese Aucuba is that it is not picky about soil, and it is drought tolerant. So if you have a shady area that you can't get water to, you might think about planting a Japanese Aucuba in that spot.
We hope you've enjoyed this classic from the Oklahoma Gardening Vault. Remember, even though these tips and techniques are timeless, there's always something new to learn in the world of gardening. By subscribing to both Oklahoma Gardening and OK Gardening Classics, you'll have access to a wealth of gardening knowledge, both classic and contemporary.